The stars glittered against the black canvas of space as the human ship approached the massive space station. Captain John Martinez stood on the bridge, his back straight and his uniform perfectly pressed. This moment would change human history forever. "Nexus Prime Station has granted us docking permission, Captain," said Lieutenant Olivia West, her eyes fixed on the control panel. John nodded. "Take us in slowly. Remember, we're making our first impression." The ship glided toward the enormous structure that served as the headquarters for the Galactic Alliance, a confederation of 17 advanced alien species that had been working together for centuries. Humanity was the newcomer, the unknown variable. Earth had detected alien communications just 5 years ago. Since then, humans had worked tirelessly to prepare for this moment. John wasn't just a diplomat. He had been trained in military strategy, psychological warfare, and advanced negotiation tactics. Behind his warm smile and firm handshake lay years of preparation for ensuring humanity's survival. As the airlock sealed and the pressure equalized, John took a deep breath. "Remember the plan," he said quietly to his team of 6 diplomats. Friendly, curious, slightly awed, but not naive. The door slid open to reveal 3 alien beings. The tallest had scale-like skin that shimmered with green and gold, with vertical pupils and large yellow eyes. This was Ambassador Creelvex of the Thraxians. Beside him stood a being that seemed to be made of living crystal, light bending through her form in rainbow patterns. Shira of the Luminar. The third was blue-skinned with 4 arms and no visible nose, introduced as Coordinator Zult. "Welcome to Nexus Prime," Creelvex said, his voice translated through the small device attached to John's ear. "We are pleased to finally meet humans in person." John stepped forward and bowed slightly. "The honor is ours, Ambassador. Humanity is grateful for this opportunity." The aliens led the human delegation through vast corridors, filled with species of all shapes and sizes. Some floated, others slithered, many walked on varying numbers of limbs. John maintained his expression of pleasant interest while his mind cataloged everything. Defensive positions, technology levels, species interactions, power dynamics. "Your species has advanced remarkably quickly," Shira commented, her voice tinkling like wind chimes. "From radio signals to faster-than-light travel in less than 200 years. Most impressive." "We're eager learners," John replied with a humble smile, "and we hope to continue learning from the Alliance." The tour ended in a large circular chamber where representatives from all 17 species waited. John presented Earth's formal request to join the Alliance with perfectly rehearsed words of friendship and cooperation. He spoke of shared knowledge, mutual respect, and peaceful coexistence. What he didn't mention was Earth's Unified Defense Directive. Trust no one. Reveal little. Learn everything. After the ceremony, Creelvex approached John privately. "Captain Martinez, the Council is impressed by humanity's advances and apparent openness. We've voted to offer Earth probationary membership status." "Earth will be honored," John replied, his face showing exactly the right amount of gratitude and excitement. "There is one question that several Council members have raised," the Thraxian continued. "Your species seems remarkably uniform in your approach. Most emerging species bring their planetary conflicts with them to the stars." John had been prepared for this. "We had our differences, Ambassador. But when we realized we weren't alone in the universe, we understood that what unites us is far greater than what divides us." The Thraxian seemed satisfied with this answer, but John noticed Shira watching him from across the room, her crystalline form refracting light in complex patterns. Unlike the others, she didn't seem entirely convinced by humanity's presentation. As John returned to his ship to report the success of first contact, he sent the coded message back to Earth. Phase 1 complete. They suspect nothing. Back on Earth, the Human Defense Council received the message with relief. The plan was working. The Alliance had no idea that humanity's friendly diplomacy was actually their most powerful weapon. A calculated strategy to ensure that no matter what happened next, Humans would never be at the mercy of alien powers. The stars no longer seemed so distant or cold to John. Soon, they would be humanity's greatest asset, and if necessary, their shield against whatever dangers the galaxy might hold. 6 months had passed since first contact. The human embassy on Nexus Prime was now fully operational. Ambassador Lisa Reed stood at the large windows of the main reception hall, watching the alien ships come and go in the space outside. She adjusted her dark blue suit and checked her reflection in the glass. Tonight was important. "Everything is ready, Ambassador," said Alan Blackwood as he approached. As security chief, he rarely smiled, even now. Lisa nodded. "And our special systems?" "All in place," Alan replied quietly. "Every conversation in this room will be recorded and analyzed." Security Chief Zolt from the Alliance has inspected the embassy 3 times and suspects nothing. Good. The guests will arrive soon. The human embassy had quickly become famous for its parties. Aliens from all 17 species were eager to receive invitations. Lisa had made sure that human food, drink, music, and art filled these events. The aliens found it all fascinating and strange. What they didn't know was that every friendly conversation was part of Earth's plan. Susan Grant, the cultural attaché, entered carrying a tablet. "The Thraxian trade minister and 2 Luminar diplomats are already on their way up," she reported, including Shira. Lisa frowned slightly. "Shira is observant. Be careful what you say around her." As the reception hall filled with alien guests, Lisa moved smoothly from group to group. She laughed at alien jokes she didn't understand. She asked simple questions about their homeworlds. She offered Earth wines and foods that had been carefully selected to be safe for each species. "Ambassador Reed," came a tinkling voice like glass chimes. "Your hospitality continues to impress the Alliance." Lisa turned to see Shira, the crystalline Luminar diplomat. Light played through her transparent body in complex patterns. "We believe in being good neighbors," Lisa said with a warm smile. "Indeed, though I find it curious that humans share so freely yet ask for so little in return. Most new species are eager for our technology." Lisa's smile never faltered. "On Earth, we have a saying, 'Good fences make good neighbors.' We're happy to learn at the Alliance's pace." Shira's crystalline form flickered with colors that Lisa couldn't interpret. "Interesting. Most species are not so patient." Across the room, Alan Blackwood was engaged in what appeared to be casual conversation with several Alliance security officials. They were laughing as he told stories about Earth's old police forces. None of them noticed as small devices in the human server's pockets scanned their communication badges, copying security codes. In a quiet corner, Susan Grant showed Thraxian officials images of Earth's oceans and forests. As they watched in fascination, Susan gathered vital information about Thraxian resource needs and supply chain weaknesses. Later that night, after all the guests had left, Lisa met with her team in a special room deep inside the embassy. This room was truly secure, swept for listening devices hourly. "Report," Lisa said as they gathered around a table. Ellen pulled up a holographic display. "We've mapped 70% of the Alliance's secure communication channels now. Their encryption is good but predictable." Susan added, "The Thraxians are having resource problems on their colony worlds, and there's tension between them and the Morgoth species over mining rights on Velociphi." Lisa studied the information carefully. Any progress on Alliance military capabilities? "Their ships are powerful but slow to respond," Ellen said. "Their command structure requires approval from at least 3 species for any significant action." Lisa nodded. "A weakness we can use if needed." She stood up and looked at her team. "Earth needs to know everything about the Alliance before they learn anything real about us. So far, our embassy is working perfectly. They see what we want them to see. Friendly, open humans eager to fit in. And they don't see the rest," Alan added. "No," Lisa agreed. "They don't see that every smile, every party, Every shared human story is gathering intelligence. They don't see that human diplomacy is our first line of defense. She touched a button, sending their encrypted daily report back to Earth. And that's exactly how we need to keep it. Outside the secure room, the embassy appeared quiet and normal. The Alliance security patrols passed by, noting only that the humans kept regular hours. None of them suspected that beneath the friendly exterior of human diplomacy lay a carefully constructed strategy that would soon reshape galactic politics forever. Alarms blared throughout the Alliance Council chamber. The large screen showed explosions and fighting on the mining colony of Velos IV. The reptilian Morgoth workers had risen against their Thraxian overseers. 3 supply ships had been destroyed. The mining operation that provided rare minerals to 7 Alliance worlds was at a standstill. "This is unacceptable," shouted the Thraxian representative, slamming his scaled fist on the table. "We demand military intervention." "The Morgoth have legitimate complaints," countered another representative. "Their living conditions. Their living conditions are not the issue." The Thraxian's tail lashed angrily. They signed labor agreements. Ambassador Lisa Reed sat quietly, watching the chaos unfold. The humans had known about the tensions on Velos IV for weeks. Their intelligence network had reported the growing anger among the Morgoth miners. Now Lisa waited for the perfect moment to speak. After 20 minutes of shouting and no progress, she cleared her throat gently. The room gradually fell silent as all eyes turned to her. "Perhaps Earth can offer assistance in this matter," she said calmly. "How could humans possibly help?" asked Creelvex, the Thraxian ambassador. "This requires military force or months of negotiation. You have neither the ships nor the experience." Lisa smiled. "We have something different. We have mediators who specialize in labor disputes. On Earth, we resolve similar conflicts for centuries." The council members looked at each other doubtfully. As a gesture of goodwill, Lisa continued, "We offer our best negotiator and a small team. No weapons, just words." After hours of debate, the council reluctantly agreed. They had few options. Military action would damage the mines. Traditional alliance negotiations would take too long. 3 days later, Colonel Patricia Miller arrived on Velos IV with a team of 5 humans. They wore simple blue uniforms with Earth's flag. No weapons visible. The Thraxian security force met them at the landing pad. "This is pointless," said the Thraxian commander. "The Morgoth are violent and stupid. They understand only force." Patricia smiled politely. "We'd like to meet with them anyway." "Your funeral," the commander muttered, leading them toward the contested mining sector. For 2 weeks, Patricia and her team shuttled between the Thraxian management compound and the Morgoth worker barracks. They listened more than they spoke. They asked questions about mining quotas, safety measures, and living conditions. They shared meals with both sides. What no one in the Alliance realized was that Patricia was not just a negotiator. She had been a Special Forces operative before becoming a diplomat. Her team included 2 intelligence analysts and a resource expert. Every conversation gave them valuable information about Alliance mining operations and technology. In private meetings with Morgoth leaders, Patricia spoke plainly. "The Alliance won't give you everything you want, but we can help you get better terms." With the Thraxians, she was equally direct. "The Morgoth will work harder if they're treated better. It's simple economics." On the 15th day, Patricia presented a compromise agreement. The Morgoth would return to work with improved living conditions, better food, and shorter shifts. The Thraxians would maintain control but increase safety measures. Both sides signed. As a small administrative fee for their services, Earth received exclusive mining rights to a neighboring system that the Alliance had deemed low value. Patricia had learned from her intelligence team that this system contained elements crucial for advanced shield technology, something humans were very interested in developing. When Patricia returned to Nexus Prime, the Alliance Council was amazed. "How did you resolve this so quickly?" asked Shira, her crystalline form glittering with curiosity. Simple human diplomacy, Patricia replied with a modest smile. Sometimes outsiders can see solutions that others miss. That evening, in the secure room at the Human Embassy, Lisa Reed reviewed Patricia's full report. The Alliance just gave us access to Tylium deposits, Lisa said, looking pleased. And they think they did us a favor by letting us help. Should we be concerned that they'll catch on? Asked Alan Blackwood. Lisa shook her head. They see what they expect to see. Helpful, eager humans who want to join their community. By the time they understand what human diplomacy really means, it will be too late. On Earth, the Defense Council added the successful Velos IV intervention to their growing list of strategic victories. Human influence was spreading through the Alliance, one helpful gesture at a time. Commander Daniel Hayes stood on the bridge of the Alliance flagship, the massive vessel dwarfing his human shuttle. 6 other human officers had joined him for what the Alliance called a military exchange program. The real purpose was far different from what their hosts believed. "Welcome aboard the Stellar Guardian," said Admiral Zox, a tall blue-skinned alien with ridges along his head. "We are honored to have humans join our training exercises." Daniel bowed his head slightly. "The honor is ours, Admiral. Earth's ships are small and few compared to the Alliance fleet. We have much to learn from you." The Admiral seemed pleased by this display of humility. The Alliance had grown used to humans presenting themselves as eager students, grateful for any guidance. This was exactly what Daniel wanted. Later that day, the human officers were assigned to different ships in the training fleet. Daniel remained on the flagship, watching carefully as Alliance officers prepared for battle simulations. "Our standard formation places heavy cruisers at the center," explained Lieutenant Grax, pointing to a holographic display. "Support vessels form a defensive ring, very effective against all known enemy tactics." Daniel nodded, looking impressed. "Fascinating. Earth's defensive strategies are much more primitive." As the exercises began, Alliance ships moved with precision through the empty space near Proxima Station. The human vessels, 5 small ships that Earth had sent for the exercise, performed poorly. They were too slow to keep formation. Their weapons seemed weak. Their shields failed under simulated enemy fire. After 3 days of exercises, Admiral Zox called Daniel to a private meeting. "Commander Hayes, I must speak frankly. Your ship's performance has been concerning." "We understand, Admiral," Daniel replied, looking embarrassed. "Earth's technology is still developing. That's why this exchange is so valuable to us." The Admiral seemed satisfied with this explanation. "You show wisdom in recognizing your limitations." What the Admiral didn't know was that the human ships were performing exactly as planned. Their true capabilities remained hidden beneath false readings and deliberately poor maneuvers. Every minute of every exercise was being recorded and analyzed by specialized equipment hidden on the human vessels. Meanwhile, on Earth, Alliance observers toured military bases and training facilities. They saw impressive but ultimately conventional technology. They watched soldiers train with weapons that seemed only slightly more advanced than what the Alliance had expected. "Your defenses are better than we anticipated," said Creelvex as he inspected an Earth missile battery. General Paul Mason nodded. "We've worked hard since discovering we're not alone in the universe." What the Alliance observers didn't see were the real defense systems hidden beneath the ocean, inside mountains, and in orbit disguised as research stations. They didn't see the true extent of Earth's military preparations. Back on the Alliance flagship, Daniel's team gathered in their private quarters. The room had been swept for listening devices twice. "We've collected data on their targeting systems," said Lieutenant Carrie Fisher, keeping her voice low. "They're advanced but have a 3-second processing delay. Their communication protocols are complex but follow predictable patterns," added Officer Jake Nelson. "We could disrupt them if needed." Daniel nodded. "Good work. What about their shield technology?" "Better than ours in raw power," Carrie said, "but inflexible. They can't quickly redirect shield strength from one area to another." That's an advantage for us, Daniel noted. Our smaller ships can be more nimble. On the final day of exercises, Admiral Sox invited Daniel to observe from the command center. The human ships were performing a simple defense pattern when one suddenly broke formation, executing a series of rapid, unpredictable maneuvers. "What is that ship doing?" the Admiral asked, frowning. "I apologize," Daniel said quickly. "That's Captain Ryan. He's creative. Sometimes he doesn't follow standard procedures." "Interesting but impractical," the Admiral said dismissively. "Such tactics would never work in real combat." Daniel looked appropriately embarrassed. "I'll speak with him, sir." Later, in private, Daniel sent an encrypted message to the creative captain. "Well done." They took the bait. When the military exchange ended, the Alliance believed they had seen the full extent of human military capability. Modest ships with eager but inexperienced crews. They believed humans posed no threat and would need decades to reach Alliance standards. It was exactly what Earth wanted them to think. Behind the mask of humble students and eager allies, humans were preparing for any possibility in a dangerous galaxy. Their apparent military weakness was their greatest deception of all. 1 year after joining the Alliance, human goods could be found on every world in Alliance space. Earth movies played in alien entertainment centers. Human music filled the air in fancy restaurants. Even human-style clothing had become popular among certain species. Karen Powell, Earth's economic liaison, sat across from 3 alien trade ministers in her office at the human embassy. Her smile was warm and friendly as she pushed a data tablet across the table. "As you can see, our latest trade proposal is very generous," Karen said. "Earth will accept raw materials from your mining colonies in exchange for our entertainment packages and luxury goods." The Thraxian trade minister looked pleased. "Most generous indeed. These terms favor the Alliance considerably." Karen nodded. "Earth is happy to offer favorable terms to our new friends." What the trade ministers didn't understand was the true value of what Earth was receiving. The raw materials were crucial elements needed for advanced weapon systems. The price Earth paid in movies, music, and art cost them almost nothing to produce and share. After the meeting, Karen met with Ambassador Lisa Reed in the secure room. "Another successful deal," Karen reported. 4 more worlds will be sending us titanium and rare earth elements in exchange for our entertainment library. Lisa looked at the trade numbers on her screen. "Perfect. How many Alliance worlds now have regular trade with Earth?" 23 major worlds and over 40 colonies, Karen replied. "Our goods are in high demand everywhere. And our special communication systems," Karen smiled, "installed on 15 key trade hubs. The Alliance Trade Commission loves them. They say our systems have improved their efficiency by 30%. What she didn't mention was that these special human-designed communication systems contained hidden backdoors. They allowed Earth intelligence to monitor all Alliance trade communications. Every secret deal, every resource shortage, every economic weakness was now visible to human analysts. Later that week, Shira of the Luminar requested a private meeting with Lisa Reed. The crystalline diplomat's colors seemed troubled as she entered the ambassador's office. "Ambassador Reed, I must express concern about the current trade situation," Shira said, her voice chiming softly. "What concerns you, Shira?" Lisa asked, looking surprised. "The balance of trade heavily favors Earth. You receive valuable resources while providing entertainment and luxury items that have no strategic value." Lisa smiled reassuringly. "We understand your concern. Earth values cultural exchange as much as material goods. Our economists believe that happiness and satisfaction are as important as strategic resources." "An unusual perspective," Shira noted, her crystalline form shifting colors. "To show our commitment to balanced relations," Lisa continued, "Earth would like to offer the Luminar a gift." She pressed a button, and an aide brought in a small device. "This is a new communication system designed specifically for crystalline life forms like the Luminar," It converts your thought patterns directly into universal translator signals. Shira's form brightened with interest. This is most thoughtful. A small token of friendship, Lisa said. After Shira left with the device, Alan Blackwood entered the office. Did she accept it? He asked. Lisa nodded. As expected, the Luminar are always interested in new communication technology, and she doesn't suspect that it will give us access to Luminar diplomatic channels. Not at all. She thinks it's a gift to balance our trade relationship. Within 6 months, many alliance worlds had become dependent on human goods. Citizens demanded human entertainment. Leaders used human communication systems. Trade flowed through human design networks. And everywhere human goods went, so did human influence. In bars and trading posts throughout Alliance space, humans made friends, gathered information, and built a network of contacts loyal to Earth. On Nexus Prime, the Alliance Council finally noticed the pattern. A special committee was formed to investigate the growing human economic influence. But by then, it was too late. The Alliance economy had become intertwined with human trade. Too many powerful people enjoyed human luxury goods. Too many systems relied on human communication technology. Earth had achieved in 1 year what would have taken other species decades. They had made themselves essential to the Alliance, while appearing to be nothing more than friendly traders offering good deals. As Karen Powell reviewed the latest trade reports, she smiled at the newest numbers. Phase 5 complete, she said to herself. The economic web is in place. Red emergency lights flashed throughout the Alliance Council chamber. Reports flooded in from the border systems. The Sothic Empire, longtime enemies of the Alliance, had launched a surprise attack on 3 planets. Alliance defense ships were being destroyed faster than they could respond. How did they get past our early warning systems? Demanded the Thraxian representative. Unknown, replied Admiral Zox, his blue skin pale with stress. They seem to have new cloaking technology. Our sensors detected nothing until they opened fire. The Council erupted into arguments. Some demanded immediate full military response. Others wanted to try diplomatic solutions. As they argued, more reports of destruction arrived. Ambassador Lisa Reed sat quietly, watching the chaos. When the room finally fell silent in exhaustion, she spoke. Earth would like to offer assistance, she said calmly. Admiral Sox looked at her with surprise. With respect, Ambassador, this is not a diplomatic situation. The Sothic are destroying our worlds. We need military power, not human mediation. Lisa nodded. Earth understands. We offer military assistance. The council members exchanged confused looks. They had seen the human ships during the military exchange. Those small vessels would be useless against the Sothic fleet. What assistance could you possibly provide? Asked Creelvex. The Earth Defense Fleet is small but specialized, Lisa said. Admiral Frank Morris can have 12 ships at the combat zone within 6 hours. With few options and desperate for any help, the Council accepted. 6 hours later, 12 human ships arrived at the edge of the Torvik system where the main battle raged. Admiral Morris, a stern-faced man with gray hair, commanded from the lead ship. The Alliance Fleet Admiral contacted him immediately. Human vessels, we appreciate your willingness to help, but please remain at a safe distance. The Sothic fleet has already destroyed 20 of our heavy cruisers. Understood, Admiral Morris replied. We're just here to assist however we can. But instead of staying back, the human ships moved forward in a strange formation. They appeared tiny compared to both the massive Alliance ships and the black, spike-covered Sothic vessels. What are they doing? The Alliance Admiral asked no one in particular. They'll be destroyed instantly. The Sothic seemed to have the same thought. 3 of their destroyers broke off to intercept the small human fleet, likely seeing them as easy targets. What happened next shocked everyone watching. As the Sothic ships fired their main weapons, the human vessels suddenly accelerated to speeds no one had seen before. Their hulls, previously appearing fragile, glowed with energy shields far beyond what they had shown in training exercises. Panels opened on their sides, revealing weapon systems that had been completely hidden. Blue energy beams lanced out from the human ships, slicing through the Sophic destroyers with terrible precision. The human vessels moved in perfect coordination, executing maneuvers that the Alliance had thought impossible at such speeds. Within minutes, the 3 Sophic destroyers were disabled or destroyed. The human fleet continued toward the main battle, still in their unusual formation. All Alliance vessels, this is Admiral Morris, came the calm message across all channels. Please pull back to Sector 7. We need room to maneuver. The Alliance ships, their commanders too stunned to argue, complied. What followed was unlike any battle the Alliance had ever witnessed. The human ships moved like dancers, too fast for Sophic targeting systems. Their weapons cut through Sophic shields as if they were paper. Their own defenses absorbed hits that would have destroyed Alliance cruisers. In under an hour, the Sophic fleet broke formation and retreated, leaving behind destroyed and disabled ships. On the Alliance command ship, Admiral Zox stared at his display in disbelief. "Impossible," he whispered. "We saw their ships during the exercises. They were basic, primitive." His second-in-command shook his head slowly. "They showed us what they wanted us to see." When Admiral Morris returned to Nexus Prime, the Alliance Council demanded answers. How had Earth hidden such advanced technology? Why had they pretended to be technologically inferior? Admiral Morris stood before them calmly. "On Earth, we have a saying, hope for peace, prepare for war. We didn't hide our capabilities to deceive you, but to protect ourselves until we knew we could trust the Alliance." But everyone in the room knew the truth. Human diplomacy had been a mask, hiding their true strength until the moment was right to reveal it. 2 weeks after the battle with the Sophic, the Alliance Council called an emergency session. Representatives from all 17 species gathered in the Grand Chamber. The mood was tense. Ambassador Lisa Reed entered the room alone. Gone was her usual friendly smile. She walked with purpose to the center of the chamber, aware that every alien eye watched her with new wariness. "Ambassador Reed," began Creelvex, his scaled face tight with controlled anger. "The Alliance demands an explanation. Your species has deceived us at every turn." Lisa looked around the room calmly. "Has Earth attacked any Alliance world? Have we broken any agreement? Have we harmed any Alliance citizen?" "No," admitted Creelvex, "but you have hidden your true capabilities. Your diplomacy was a mask for intelligence gathering. Your trade agreements secured you strategic resources. Your military pretended weakness while studying our defenses." "Yes," Lisa said simply. The admission sent a shock through the room. No one had expected such honesty. "Then you admit that human diplomacy has been a deception all along?" asked Shira, her crystalline form dark with concern. "Not deception," Lisa replied. "Strategy. There is a difference." Lisa walked to the center display and activated it. Images of Earth appeared. "When humanity discovered we were not alone in the universe, we also discovered something troubling," she continued. "We found evidence that the Alliance had encountered other emerging species before us, species that no longer exist." The council chamber grew very quiet. The Zentari, the Prel, the Makar, all gone within 10 years of meeting the Alliance. Lisa said, "This information wasn't in your official records that you shared with us. We found it in your restricted archives." "How did you?" began Admiral Zox. "Because human diplomacy means learning everything about potential friends and enemies," Lisa interrupted. "We were afraid. We are still afraid. So we prepared for the worst while hoping for the best." Lisa touched the display again, showing detailed plans of every major Alliance world. "Earth could have targeted these weaknesses in your defenses." She changed the image. "We could have collapsed your economy with these pressure points." Another change. "We could have turned these species against each other using existing tensions." The council members stared in shock at how thoroughly humans had analyzed their weaknesses. "But we did none of these things," Lisa said. Instead, we helped stop a mining revolt. We improved your trade networks. We defended your worlds against the Sothic. Lisa switched off the display and faced the council directly. Human diplomacy is not what you think. Yes, it involves gathering intelligence and positioning ourselves for advantage. But its ultimate goal is peace through strength, not war. We needed to ensure that if the Alliance decided we were a problem to be eliminated, the cost would be too high. The chamber remained silent for several long moments. Finally, it was Shira who spoke. You feared us, so you studied us. You did not trust us, so you prepared against us. Yet when we needed help, you provided it. Her crystalline form shifted to blue tones. Perhaps it is we who should learn from human diplomacy. Creelvex rose from his seat. What do you propose now, Ambassador Reed? Now that we know the true nature of your diplomacy. A real alliance, Lisa said, not one where Earth pretends to be less than we are. Not one where we must always watch for hidden dangers. A true partnership of equals. She held up a data crystal. Earth offers complete transparency about our capabilities and intentions. In return, we ask for the same from the Alliance. Later that evening, after hours of tense negotiation, Captain John Martinez met privately with Shira. The man who had first represented humanity to the stars looked tired but satisfied. We never wanted war, he told the Luminar diplomat. We just couldn't afford to be at anyone's mercy. Sometimes the best way to ensure peace is to make sure everyone knows exactly what war would cost them. Shira's form glimmered with new understanding. Perhaps humans are teaching the Alliance what it forgot long ago. True diplomacy exists only between equals. As John looked out at the stars from the observation deck, he thought about how far humanity had come. The Alliance had discovered that human diplomacy was indeed a threat, not because humans sought conflict, but because they had mastered the art of gaining power without appearing to seek it. And in doing so, they had changed the very nature of galactic politics forever.